ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG European League here, Phase 3 underway, and well, we're in the final week. I'm Leader Smith, this is Lauren Pansy Scott, and we've just seen another victory for the G2 boys. A much needed win.
Well timed.
I might add, yeah, well timed. When the pressure's on, and I loved Chris's interview with Paolo. He's like, no, there wasn't really any pressure. Yeah, I spoke to Braexco and NELLOZ beforehand, and they were like, ooh, we need to perform this week.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about playing under pressure is when you start really kind of tightening everything up. You have to start playing a better game, and there's no excuses anymore. You can't sit there and be like, oh, you know, whatever, we've got time to play with. It's do or die time for a lot of these guys, but the issue is we're coming into Sanhok, which has not been kind to some of these teams that desperately need those points. It's one of the ones that they just haven't been able to convert to as regularly as your Miramars or your Erangels. They need to find some form here on Sanhok and keep that sort of fire up, keep that pace up, keep that pressure. Looking at that game, I thought Reciprocity were going to walk away with a little bit more considering the ground they had on Miramar, but just didn't quite able to, weren't able to convert it as well. G2 took the, I guess, paramount positioning, if you want to say it, but again, I'm looking at Sanhok as one of those, it's a point grab for the teams who need it, because it's one of those games and one of those maps that allows you to frag out.
Yeah, and obviously we were just talking about on the desk about the 1,000 damage club. It's been stretched exponentially with 2 more joining it in that game. And Bjorn at the end of last week, by the way, he didn't get the praise because obviously we didn't show the stats and everything for it because it was your last game. But yeah, there's quite a few now that are hitting that 1,000+ damage, which is no mean feat. That man certainly capable of it.
He's such a monster of a player, isn't he? Just as an individual, it's like they play well as a team, but even within that, he's allowed to find those good positions, but he always seems to deliver in them. That's what really just impresses me, is someone who can really capitalize on those positions that your IGL sets you up in, allows you to play from, and he always seems to at least deliver those 1-2 kills that get them those points they need to get that next position to move up on that leaderboard. Na'Vi, I think, always one of those teams that have just surprised me consistently and always just done well.
We saw Reciprocity getting themselves over 3rd in the last match, so much needed points to just keep ahead of Raise Your Edge, and actually they're only now 6 points behind NIP, I believe, so they're really closing in on NIP, and then of course CrowCrowd the next focus. A couple more big performances, but the problem is that Sanhok hasn't really been the greatest game for them overall. N47 though, a team that is, I think they're nearly 100 points behind TSM now for that first place. That is their only realistic chance of qualifying. Forget global points, no chance via that. They have to simply win the phase, which is, well, it's not impossible, but it's definitely, if someone was a betting odds were about to come out there, it would be probably about 1 or 2% chance.
Yeah, it's not looking likely. It's not. I mean, we have seen crazy things happen in the last couple of days of several seasons, but it is one of those scenarios where you just don't imagine it happening. As the lights go low, it's almost game time, so we can see how these teams are going to switch things up for this final Super Week coming out now. Sanhok does give room for a lot of kills to come in and a lot of aggression to play out with those third parties rife throughout the map, but this is not going to be easy. A lot of these teams are on that point grab, trying to get themselves solidified either into PGC, pushing up at PEL, avoiding relegations. All of these teams, no matter where they are on the board, have something to fight for.
Well, we have seen G2 and DA continuing to go at it the last couple of weeks. We'll see whether that continues on in its trend. Obviously, with the circle going up to Camp Alpha, the final game last week. GamerLegion picking that win up.
Really nicely played out too. I liked it. I love that fight that they took between NIP and FaZe. That is always such a highlight one for me. How they approached it, they had that very spread out split, because you know what that hill's like. It's very easy to creep up on that hill, so they had that 1-1 split everywhere. And it worked out really well for them. They came together at the right time, and they capitalized on the gift of the circle. The gift, indeed. That's the one way to look at it. N47, can they collect the points that they have been working so well on? Fuzz just keeping an eye on Na'Vi as a doozy goes down. Ival is going very deep. Vasquez joining him. That's a deep, aggressive play from N47. I find it dangerous because BesteLOSH is the one in the position. I guess PokeMolodoy could do it too, but between a doozy and BesteLOSH, they can get really big vision towards most of those N47 players, unless because T-Bone's a little bit further out. Page can cover it off, and T-Bone's position it's a long shot, so you're hoping for a bit of range there. If Na'Vi do try and capitalize and control that area, you have to find a way to temper that aggression and stop them being able to do it. But Na'Vi aren't one of those teams that will do it recklessly. It feels like everything's very calculated.
They're generally very calm on their loot cycle, I would say. They're not
Yep.
really a team that fights very well for it. Well, DA are happy, G2 are happy. This is why they've been dropping. G2 confirmed and changed their drops from Camp Alpha and over to this area. They felt they were getting more circles in this sort of region, and that's exactly what it is. We saw it obviously finish just south of Quarry last week as well. We've seen it finish north and east of Quarry many times.
Yeah, looking at DA here, if you want to see them play well, this has to be one of the games for it to happen. We saw it in Game 1, they had a very big performance. Game 2, a lot quieter in that regard, didn't quite have the same sort of punch to it.
They were stuck on the South Road,
Yeah,
just like same with Knights and GamerLegion, right?
A lot of the teams got kind of pinned over there, but I'm hoping we see a bit more of a fiery game from them because it was such a fun thing to witness. The teams obviously on the outer islands going to have to suffer a little bit trying to convert through towards the main position right now.
Well, the real-time standings, you can see there, the Phase 3 standings as they were. We'll keep you updated on the desk with the global points as they change. At the moment, you can see G2 when that win has really put them back in there and chasing down. You know, they were known as the Big Four, and I don't think they're going to be happy about being replaced by TSM in that Big Four setup. But they are nearly over 100 points behind TSM now. Crazy. What a great phase it has been for TSM. We heard from Iro talking with Froz just how good it's been joining TSM and how much work that DIDZ is helping them out and stuff like that. And obviously, I guess coming from a player that never really had I don't think they had a full-time coach for Digital Athletics.
I actually don't know
There's
too much.
a manager, but I don't think they have a full-time coach.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me is just seeing an individual who had real potential within a lineup that wasn't able to show it off as much. You'd see glimpses, you're like, oh, it's Iro, there's a chance.
Hey, I mean, this is a guy that was going into GLL Season 3 and under cheat allocations and all that. Because he performed so well online, everyone just assumed there's no way this guy is legit. Yeah. He had a poor showing at Season 3, so went into Minsk, and everyone went, there we go, see, it's true. Goes into Minsk and absolutely smashes it. And suddenly everyone was basically saying apologies to him.
Yep.
It's like, you are a legit, really good player. And you know what? He had temptations throughout Phase 1 and Phase 2. He stuck with Digital Athletics, and it's I think it's great testament to him that he stuck it out for so long with them, and now has finally said, you know what, my career comes first. I'm going to go with TSM. I want a chance of playing at PGC.
And I think it's paid dividends massively, of course, and I think you see what can happen when you surround a player with people who can set them up well, and you have that structure within the roster that plays well to someone just stylistically. You know, he's an aggressive player. He's very, very solid at taking fights, and you'll see TSM allow him to do that, and I love watching it.
And by the way, sticking with TSM, congratulations to Break. He has some fabulous skins.
You know what? The SLR looks really good.
They look amazing. The jacket,
Mazzarine,
the thing, everything looks really good.
Well done,
Raise Your Edge pulling up with a Team Liquid.
Ooh, dangerous.
Yeah, check out those skins, guys. Check out Break. Check out his stream, etc. You know, giving a big shout out because I'm really impressed with those skins.
They're lovely.
Yeah.
We love a Break skin, and what we also love is Gemty getting big information. Jeem's going to play off the back of that. This is perfect calling out moments. 2 players entering the building, and there is the shutdown. Big work from Gemty. So controlled, and they know exactly where these 2 players are. Look how aggressive Jeems is. 60 posted up, but that's so dangerous.
That was so well played because he's basically pinned the 2 in that building. He's like, I'm going to deal with the one single flank guy that's out here, leave the rest. It's just simply a case of putting pressure on the house. SKUIJKE dealt with. Menok's the last man standing, and you can hear the scurry, and he's going to try and jump out. He might get a nice camp flank around the side there. Doesn't quite work out for him. Instead, he finds himself on the outside of the building with everyone inside. Sees Gemty out the side, but it's too late. And Raise Your Edge absolutely decimated by Team Liquid. Really nice spread.
Yeah, it was just so well done by the information play of Gemty not being... It's one of those things where you're like, I want to help my team. I want to make sure, you know, I'm there to get the firepower down. But having the faith in the 3 players or even 2 players who are dedicated towards holding those buildings, calling out the information, catching the cross. Okay, that 1 player at the back who's getting Overwatch, I'll fight him. I'll take him down. That control is very, very well played.
DESPERADO is trying to work their way in. They're well aware that FaZe Clan are going to be ahead of them. It's a standard compound area for them. Digital Athletics getting some information plays, looking towards ENCE as well, just keeping themselves very much centered up. They have G2 to the north of them. 7 still late arriving in the circle. GamerLegion just crossing over the river now. NIP happy to wait it out on Painan. That is a fat crate, but I don't think anyone's going to get to it. Reciprocity is a bit too open for them to get to it. Navi maybe, but I guess Reciprocity, if they pull further north,
If
will
they keep going
pass
through, they
by.
might get it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If we see the Orm coming out, pop a red dot out on it when you're on Sanhok. Just why not? Everyone's centralizing.
Where's the Knights going?
Yeah, there's not much room available now. That's the scary thing. It might be just...
They're going for boats. Yeah, they're both going for boats.
Pull up the river, go towards cave side. Let's just get into the circle at any point. Beautiful scootering. Love a vector on the back. Look at that drive-by potential. Big.
Love it. Ooh, NIP spotted in the open by GamerLegion. They come over the river quicker. Just a bit of shots, and that's going to give all the attention that Desperados and FaZe need, looking towards those hills and the roadside.
Yeah, let's have a little look to see where that circle goes. That's the big defining factor now. I think most teams, excluding the Knights, are now somewhat safe. There shouldn't be too many fights. Maybe a knock or two.
Look at 7, by the way. 7 are trying to camp out GamerLegion. That's what they're doing. When GamerLegion obviously just said, screw you, we're going south. And the circle, it said, screw you, we're going north. So this is actually similar to what we saw last week. Obviously, we saw it going a bit further north. It was sort of north of Bravo almost, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, Barn just seems to be, you know, a bit of a death spot for a lot of teams, and it feels like, I'm glad it's not just me whenever I play this game. If I go near Barn, it's just like, I know death is waiting for me, because I just need that level 2 vest. And I see it there at Barn, and then just 40 teams appear near me. It's horrible.
I was confused. We were following that car. It's like, I can hear the scooter, but all I'm seeing is this car. What is going on?
It's like a little hairdryer.
A little IRO, what's on it? Come on.
Looks like TSM at least make it ahead. They're up in the north now.
Desperado's trying to push in on the back of FaZe Clan, and it's kind of gone wrong for them. That's 3 down so far. TomiL, the last man standing for Desperados, out on the side, looking to be the second team to fall on this map after Razor Edge were picked apart by Team Liquid. They know exactly where he is. Ubah sees him and will finish him off there. Wanted just vectored reels. Oh dear.
I don't know what's going on here.
Oh dear. How? I mean, isn't... Okay, he was shooting at Shiv.
With a vector?
Well, no way. Not from that range.
Yeah, I was like, how has that happened? I don't
Did
understand.
You know what? I bet he's had a PC crash. He must have vectored him off the bike. He was stuck on the bike.
Oh, maybe.
That's where it is. Yeah, and he's just removed the kill. Removed the kill point from Respirate. That's the only explanation I have.
Yeah, that
could be the only
makes
explanation
some sense, I think. That's the only thing I can see as well. Looking at this, let's take stock of what this circle now entails for some of these teams.
We'll see a clip from the team streams of he just sprays down.
Just sod him. Just get him out of there. Southeast side is going to be Reciprocity and the Knights, of course. That's still kind of ongoing. You have ENCE eventually being, waiting in the wings slightly further north of them. So once they enter the circle, that could be the next engage. 7 working their way around the north. They look terrified of everything around them, even though there's 0 teams near them. FaZe and GamerLegion still very close by to each other. Bit of a stalemate over there. But you're looking at DA, Liquid, TSM, CrowCrowd, N47. Very strong positioning here.
Oh, VAR just railing down at Uzi. That's a quick execution, that one. Just backs away. So Navi have always struggled on this map. They had a win here last week, but that was about all. Reciprocity continue on around the north, and they're basically going to gate camp the Knights. Kampong's going to be basically the death site for the Knights. I don't think they're going to be able to get out of it. They've got this 2-2. The rest can just keep heading north. Yeah. Yeah,
it's just transitioning out of this. It's like either you play so late that you hope they move forward, but then it's, that blue damage, because they were already in the blue on the boats.
They're hating this because they came. The reason they went on the boats was to avoid Reciprocity, right? And they've come around straight on Reciprocity.
Ooh, nice trade.
Down, but mxey, putting a good trade on it, but Fex did manage to get the flush in time.
Yeah, this is the battle that seemed to be building on that eastern side, because they're in that awkward stalemate, hoping that nade will reach. That could actually maybe find Hackendark, potentially. Not quite going to make it there. mxey needs to maybe back away. I think you have to cut your losses on this one. They don't have the information. The foliage is covering GamerLegion so well there, it's very hard to play off of.
The foliage, I like it. Team Liquid, they're loving it. That has gone right back to them again. And unfortunately for Na'Vi, they're kind of heading in that way. And yeah, there we go. Sees exactly what's coming. James just gives them a couple of warning shots. Makandart looking down low, suppressed fire onto ubah. Nowhere for him to go. This is what we're talking about. FaZe, they're in trouble.
They certainly are. If there was a third party, it looks like NIP are getting interested as well. If you have the map stream open, NIP are starting to look this way going, okay, that's an extended fight. Okay, we've got Circle. We can keep eyes on this, and that's a really nice idea to work with. Now, GamerLegion have all 4 back alive as well. mxey's still alive, but no helmet. Needs to back away from this one. It's going to survival mode time for them.
I don't think he even had a vest there, actually. I was trying
Probably
to see. ENCE are now almost doing what Reciprocity were doing to the Knights. They're gatekeeping him out of the circle. They did get the knock on Monkey. Looks like he's going to be done
Shiv's
and gone.
in danger.
Yeah, Shiv's stumbling right upon them. That should be an easy one for miikaz. Didn't really need to use the nade to confirm it, but you never know. Just to make sure, sees the buggy pull up. And double confirmation.
Okay, let's look at the northeast here quickly, because I'm seeing TSM engaging towards 7, but I also see CrowCrowd chomping at the bit to get involved in this. So that's going to be a big third-party fight, and it looks like TSM aren't aware that CrowCrowd are that close, because Gustav, I think, just got in a vehicle, so they've certainly heard that. NOOKIE and Temet are very close by to this. Iron not going to get the clean shots that he wanted there. Sadovnik prepared, and Michael has absolutely no idea. He's charging on this one. Sadovnik needs to get this shot cleanly. He does. That's a flush and a half. TSM suffering casualties because there goes Gustav. CrowCrowd, they want in on this. They want those points, and they're going to try and claim them.
Yeah, they're down to 2, and that's just completely caught them off guard. They were not ready for that. CrowCrowd, as you say, they're chasing the points. They want everything they can get. Absolutely everything that can go their way. So this is all working out well for them. M47 also happy in the center. DA, Team Liquid all centered up.
Oh.
It's a battle on the edges at the moment, and CrowCrowd are looking to confirm as much as they can. I think they're not going to be done with TSM. They want 7 as well.
No, there's Rory, though, going to find Sadovnik. That's going to at least keep some control, but there's the third party. Yeah. There's no safe angles. That's a problem as soon as you saw 7 trying to stay safe from CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd went, oh, there's another here. TSM, hello. And CrowCrowd can just step in that circle. They're in such a good position to be able to punish these players.
Spotted Iro, so they know where TSM's last man is. They know he's in this building. He's going to have to boost himself up and get ready to go because he's got 2 members of 7 to fight and 4 members of CrowCrowd off to the south of him. And that's looking like where he's heading. So CrowCrowd, they have actually disengaged. They've backed to their compound, back to the circle. And as we've said several times, the blue moves really quick when we hit phase 3 and onwards. And that's what the teams are preparing for now. You can't have these extended, drawn-out fights in there. You have to be in position ready to move, because if it pulls south of them, they have to be running. Speaking of running, Iro's on the getting out of there. The put. It's his little bike. And you know what? He's made it to Barn. N47 might catch it, though. Is he going to crate as well?
No, he's just sending it. He's just going to try and prone somewhere. I don't blame him either. Just get out of that current situation. Hope for that maybe CrowCrowd fights towards M47 or whatever actually plays out there. You've got to look at ENCE. This fight in the southeast has now come to a forefront. The Knights are still alive. They went further south. They went more polar south towards NIP.
And they got a knock on Nip. They got a knock on Nip there. So they've not only managed to avoid Reciprocity, they've somehow managed to get the knockdown. Miruku looks like he's pretty much crawling in the open as well. You can see him down against that fence line. So that has not gone well for Nip. They've kind of been surprised by it. Drayden's going for a flanking maneuver while MBS tries to hold the position. Now Drayden is the other side of the shacks, and that's a real problem for NIP now.
It is a huge issue for them. You can see them trying to find angles that they can work with, but there's so few available. NBS is checking everything he can, but Drayden's nade is just so on point towards Miruku. There's no recovery. Gaxi makes the run for it, tries to get to his team. Just about alive. One shot on him there, and you have to see Wanted's on the way up. Reciprocity still taking an extended battle with ENCE. TRYFFELI gonna get the shot through towards Deer in the south. N47 setting up the gate camping here. The circle is just favoring them well, but you've got to look at Liquid. What a prime position they're sat in.
Reciprocity are going to come over the hill on the back of the Knights here again. So the Knights, while they're setting up for a fight with NIP, they're about to get backstabbed if Reciprocity keep moving the position they are. CrowCrowd, we talked about them having to move faster. They're going to have to continue. They're in this battle with ENCE on the east side of the circle at the moment. N47 watching on. They've already picked one knock. There's SKUIJKE getting another. Going to have to try and get Misa back on his feet. No smokes for Timmy, though. I wonder what they've got left, CrowCrowd, after their extended engagement with TSM and 7.
Yeah, CrowCrowd kind of being shut down here. They can't run towards the side that may allow them an easier entry because it's being guarded by N47, and that means they're just kind of being funneled in towards ENCE. And now with Tiikzu knocked, it's down to 2 still standing. The other Finns on the other side. Rustanmar very crisp on the shots there, tapping away well. And a third party even further beyond comes in from Ibby towards T-Bone.
Yeah, it's catching on them. They're trying to push up the hill to get involved in this fight, and it's caught them off guard. Don't write off mxey as well. It's got Fuzz back on his feet. I didn't even see him get the revive off there. And they are down in the back of Quarry. I don't think they can get out of there, but they're in there regardless. Scoom sending it. We'll see whether he makes it. Udio's gone. Scoom's got inside the shack, so he's safe in the circle for now, as TRYFFELI tries to make a run for it and gets out of the blue. Team Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid's position is so dangerous. They had such a good position even in the last circle, and it's now just got even better. And it's just the pile-in on the eastern side, isn't it? NOOKIE still in the blue, trying to stretch through there step by step, but he can't make it much further. CrowCrowd do go down again in quite an early position. Not good for them. If you want to see them do something quite dangerous and quite impressive towards end of season, this isn't the game. Yeah,
well, this hasn't been the first 3 games. In fairness, they've had a rough old start. They got a good second place in the last game, to be fair, and it was a very good second place. But still a lot of work to do. Drayden's gone into Scoom's shack. Straight next to him. He's coming straight around the side. Scoom, the last man standing, full reciprocity. Not a lot he can do about it this one. The last first aid being used. He's got a couple of nades still. Drayden himself has got to be careful because he's going to get pushed around the side. Drayden doesn't look like he's got any meds either, judging by the fact he hasn't been able to heal up. DA have gone into Team Liquid's shack. That's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen right now. Boy, watch Scoom bouncing it off the side there, trying to get Drayden down, go for the spray in the corner. Knows that he's around there. Meanwhile, the Knights, ENCE and N47 being decimated out in the fields.
Yeah, the eastern side is still not resolved, is it? It's just piece by piece. The timing. Scoom goes down. Well played by Drayden, staying patient. Surprised no one else looked towards that shack from that side. Maybe that's what Scoom was banking on. And Iroh's still alive and kicking. Somehow getting points in, just laid prone in Barn. The beast of Barn finally awakens. And he's going to have to work his way in soon enough. He does still have VAZCO, I think, standing near him. Actually, no, VAZCO went down. So, yeah, that's N47 gone. So he's got safety to enter from this side.
Oh, mxey trying to get around the side there, but NOP will take FaZe Clan down. Now they see GamerLegion also on the move, but this is almost locking the door on themselves here. Na'Vi are inside the next circle. Team Liquid, DA, G2 up in the top there. 7 also coming down. Iroh's managed to get safe inside, as well as the Knights. So these are your top 9 teams at the moment as NAP go down in 9th.
Big sweep from GamerLegion. I'm liking this from them. They've kind of managed to avoid Na'Vi, swing to the south, and then look back towards it. G2 on the push towards the west, though. You do have a split in these compounds. Ibby's in a dangerous spot, but it could be a good... There goes NELLOZ. Right around the back. This was the kind of play they pushed out from the north, sweeping towards the west, and they've come across one of the players, but they know it's a knock, so they know Na'Vi still have players up. They just don't know where.
Iroh still taking shots on 7. They were the team that took down the rest of TSM, remember. Bit of revenge maybe for them as G2 realize they're in a sticky situation. Just about everyone really, with the compounds that Team Liquid and DA hold being the central point for this next circle. The Knights have got to move. GamerLegion needs to go further north, but it's all about 7 trying to get Iroh down here.
Yeah, Iroh's a dangerous player, though. He's set up his escape plan. The smokes have gone down, but he still wants a bit of damage. He's almost baiting them to peek the smoke, so maybe he can get a shot. If he gets that helmet gone, that's perfect for him, but he's not going to happen. Crab on the other side being really quite cautious. The smoke didn't quite cover his initial cross, but he's made it to a bit of cover. And again, Drayden's now been found by Fex. That means, again, GamerLegion are just powering forward here.
Iroh continues to creep towards the circle. Na'Vi go down. TSM get another placement point. It's all working out for Iroh at the moment. He's been finally pushed here. It's a double push from 7. They've gone down low. I think Iroh just caught sniff of it. Switches over to the red dot. Gets the spray down. And that's tricky for 7 now because they're almost in a 1-on-1. They're going to jump over the top. Nicely played by Buster there to make it work.
Yeah, Buster had to beeline that. Then he had to get as close as he could towards that rock to deny too many 1v1s without that pressure coming back in. 7 are left down to 2. DA control the east side of this small compound. Team Liquid in the west. G2 on the western edge. And in the south, it's still GamerLegion.
G2 still chasing. GamerLegion getting the Knights down. Still important for the points. They're going to get the players back on their feet as well. But you can see they don't really have a lot to play with. Kind of all stuck behind that rock together. Not a great deal of line of fire either. G2 have them dead to rights. He's in the middle of a field. Ordinarily, he'd be shouting at a teammate for going for a fight like that. And it has kind of worked out because Jempty of all people, gets them all down.
Yeah, that little angle he was working with, just threading the needle of vision, it was just really well done. And Liquid, it looks like they want to push on that, but they just can't. It's not going to work out for them. We do see the G2 is still trying to recover. And I don't know how they're going to breach this compound. No. You've got to run up towards Team Liquid, or you're still getting shots from 7 on you. Yeah,
7, Krabic and Buster down low have got the angles on G2. NELLOZ is going to get the revive off, it seems. So they will be back to 3 as Yannis will be back on his feet. Just Braexco gone. Team Liquid, DA, still got 4 on their feet. They're looking towards 7 now. Mitraleius getting himself another chance, but it's stolen away by mxey. Does confirm the last one.
Okay, so the 4 times spray wasn't impressive enough for chat. How about 6 times on the AK? Is that better for you guys?
Yeah.
We'll see. Again, we're down to 3 teams, 11 players, so we have a lot of players still standing for 2 of these. And G2 still have 3, so this is a big end circle. Ibby's nade finds ChrizZ, and it will be Liquid who gets the side of the circle.
Second one goes out. That's going to confirm ChrizZ. Gets him down to nothingness. There's no way they're going to go for a revive there. So they've got to the rock. DA were trying to make a play. They were trying to get the angle, and it's cost them dearly. And that may well have just given the game to Team Liquid. G2 still with 2 on their feet. DA now down to 2. Yannis, though, could cause problems. The circle, he pulled away from DA, so they had to make a move there. They knew the rock position they needed.
There's nothing more that could have been done. It was, you know, when do you want to die? Look at that. Look at the cross that they have in front of them. You have NELLOZ with such a really hard angle to work with. If they don't have smokes, if they don't have utility, you're not going to dig him out of this position comfortably if he doesn't just over-peak. He can just bide his time here. And I think Mert's going to probably just accept his fate at this point. There's nothing more he can do about it. It's just don't give away points just needlessly.
I mean, the points they're giving away to G2 and Team Liquid don't count for anything.
True.
It's not like they're in contention with one another, but they're going to bleed out regardless. So it'll take points away from them. Team Liquid on the chase, of course, for the top spot. They've still got a bit of work to do to chase down Na'Vi, FaZe Clan, and TSM. G2 themselves, this is another good performance from them, isn't it? Another second place following their first place victory a moment ago. What a weekend this has started to be for G2 in the chase for PGC.
Oh my god, Ibby is feeling it. He just went up and peeked out of the tower. Even G2 are like, there's no way anyone's going to do that at this point. It's too risky, too dangerous. Not for Ibby. The guy's feeling it, gets the job done. Big moves from Liquid, and they needed that too. They were one of the teams that needed confidence boost in themselves. The last 2 games have not been ideal, but G2 still with a second place finish.
It was all about the compound play for Team Liquid. The compound play, that was the one they took. Razor came into it. mxey's off angle decimated them. They executed Razor without losing a single player. Really well played from them. 17 giving them some high fives. That's exactly what you want. Let's go down to Parla and hear from the boys in blue.
Let's hear from the boys in blue. Today sporting the Captain America Team Marvel Liquid jersey. Ibby, I'd like to start with you. When I saw where you dropped, all I could think was that this game had huge potential.
It had huge potential, of course, yeah. Yeah, we got the chicken, let's go.
Yeah, so run me through the strategy when you dropped in, James.
The strat when we dropped in, we have a compound that we really favor in the circle. We got there just before Rai tried to take it. We had a really clean execution and killed all 4 of them. We knew DA was playing this compound that we won from, and we knew that they would move deeper. So as soon as the circle yoinked away from this compound, they moved away, we stole it from them, and the circle came back and we won it.
So in that sense, you got that initial foothold, and after that was just huge potential.
It was huge potential.
Great stuff. And Ibby, moving forward, what are the goals for the rest of today and overall here at week 6?
I mean, to improve as a team. We had a couple rough weeks. Last week was pretty good for us, of course. We had a lot of points, so just keep playing. Like, that's what everyone says, just keep playing your game. Yeah, and just improve for Worlds, because Worlds is what it's about.
Exactly, and talking about Worlds, talking about PGC, at this point when I think you're pretty much secured right for there, how do you look forward? How do you make changes? How do you keep improving?
How do we keep improving? I mean, yeah, how do we keep improving? We play a lot together. We've been grinding together. Of course, practice like scrims, etc. And yeah, there's a lot of details in it. Of course, what we do. I don't want to go too much into detail what we do to improve, but yeah, that's kind of it.
And final question, of course, James, if you get that first place spot, you get a bunch more prize money too. Is that extra motivation and potentially an even better result?
Yes.
All right, guys, we've heard it from the Liquid boys themselves. a lot more to see from them over the rest of the week, I'm sure. Thank you and congratulations on your chicken dinner.
Three games down today, and 3 of the big 5 have already taken themselves a chicken dinner. Team Liquid racking it up on Sanhok. Good to see from them. Once again, you know, after having a few weeks of roughness, last week was good towards the end especially, and now they continue on with that form. Great stuff from Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, first 4 weeks, they had 1 win. Last week, they got another, what's it, 4 win?
3 or 4.
3
it's
win.
really high amount of win compared to what they did the rest of the
Loads of wins.
They've definitely been stepping it up lately, and this is what we want to see. This is a team that is PGC worthy. This is a team we want to send over there to actually win it for us.
And also, I mean, they had 7 points in the previous 2 games, so they need to step up if they want to get into the top 3 or potentially into the top 2. There's a bit of a kind of a caution, obviously, because just saw a win from TSM as well, so we'll see how that's going to work out.
I mean, those 7 points were from the last game as well, in kills only.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff. And of course, here at PEL, a big thank you to Samsung joining us along for the ride as well with their C27 RG5 monitor, as they're providing that for all of the players to play on here. 240 hertz as well as curved, and it is G-Sync compatible for NVIDIA, which is nice as well.
And a lot of other features.
All of your gaming needs are met. Fantastic. But overall, let's continue talking about this game right here, as we take a look at some of the highlights from it as well on Sanhok. A very normal circle for Sanhok, I think it's fair to say.
Normal, but not normal. We haven't seen too many endings right there, though.
I meant the first one, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. One thing to take out from this game is G2. Once again, we had Yannis and NELLOZ in the end. Now, previously weeks, we've seen them, when it's those 2 people left on G2, they would basically be a little bit clueless what to do and just try to send one to the center, more or less. Now we're seeing them play together, sweeping around and trying to go for the win. They were holding out the A. They were playing that really well, and that comes down to them being more comfortable here now.
I know a thing or two about being clueless, Martin. What do you think?
Well, I can confirm that. And on top of that, G2 they've gotten 43 points in these games here. An absolute amazing step up compared to N47 that's gotten 11. So now they're, to take over 5th place, we're talking 10 points if they do that. So it's extremely close now.
In the Phase 3 standings?
In the Phase 3 standings.
Okay, cool stuff. Let's take a look at the points coming in, contributing to Phase 3 points here for this game, as we have 2 teams, unfortunately, 0 points for them. DESPERADO and Raise Your Edge. Gotta check things out and get it going. 1 through 8, whoa, we're flying through this. Up to the top, 21 points coming in for Team Liquid to push themselves even further. G2, yet another top spot for them. They've got 2 second places and a 1st place already today.
Yeah, they started with the 2nd place and got a 1st place, and now back on 2nd place. Is it going to be a 1st place in the next game?
No, because we need the big 5 to win all of the games.
So this is the actual chance. We have G2, we have GTSM, we have Liquid. If FaZe Clan and Navi win the next 2 games, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be a happy man.
You can cross that off your bucket list.
The prophecy has been met. Oh, that'd be amazing. So for my anticipation of the next game, I think FaZe Clan is going to win the 4th game, Navi's going to win the 5th game, all vice versa. Well, I think that's the first one that's going to happen.
So why that order, though?
Because Navi always wins the last game of the day.
They kind of do, I suppose.
Yeah, like they have won so many last games of the day. So let's hope to see that. I would really like to see our big 5 teams winning a game each on one day. That'll be amazing to see.
Will be exciting.
This feels very weird to say, but FaZe's worst map is actually Erangel right now.
Uh-oh.
They've been doing better on Miramar and Sanhok.
Yeah, but they have some wins on it, you know.
They have 3 wins on Erangel, but
So
it's
it's
still
not
their
that
worst
bad.
map.
It's not that bad. They've won a lot of more than the other ones.
Why are you like panicking somehow? Like, are you okay?
I'm not panicking. It's just like
they got wins here.
they might have, you know, like they might have had a really bad games, but they're really good games they win, you know. So it's a good turnover.
I'll tell you this though, Navi will definitely win one of the 2 upcoming games here. FaZe Clan, I'm not sure.
You think Navi will win? All right. Yeah, I think so too. They will win the last game though. They will not win the next game. Yeah.
And with that, We're leaving. We're going to go to a short break here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to use the hashtag AskPEL to ask us those questions over on the Twitterverse. We've already got some, so we will be selecting them throughout the day as well to answer later on. We're going to a short break. When we return, it's Erangel. It's the grassy pastures of Erangel. We'll see you in a few.